Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. And this show is all about inspiring, empowering, and educating you through life's transitions. And today, I have on a very special guest and a very important topic because we're talking about money today. Money, money, money. Money is such a challenge for so many people, and I wanted to bring on an expert, Sarah McCrum, who I had on my live summit a few months back, and I wanted to bring her back because she is an expert in this. And the theme for today's show is Money Loves You: How to Improve Your Relationship with Money, because you actually do have a relationship with money. And Sarah's going to illuminate many things about that today. Can't wait to have her on. She's coming on in just a few minutes. But before we do that, let us share the intention statement with you for today. And our intention statement is, I have today to tap into the loving energy of money. I have today to tap into the loving energy of money. And Sarah will share this, and we'll talk about a little bit about this later in the show, about what money really is and what money's purpose is and how powerful it is, and that your relationship with money is so important. So what we do with the themes every single week on this show is my amazing Kelly makes the most beautiful wallpapers. And on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official, if you go there, follow me there, and then check on, there's a button that says wallpapers. And every week she makes fabulous wallpapers that you can use as your screensaver on your phone, so that every time you look at your phone 150 times a day on average, that you see it. And then that you start to affirm it, your subconscious starts believing it, and it starts to get anchored in. That's a great way to start making shifts in your life, especially related to money. So check that out at Diane Forster Official. And again, the intention statement is, I have today to tap into the loving energy of money. So awesome. All right, so quickly before I bring on Sarah, I wanted to just share with you a story during our Magical Manifestation Moments segment. Now, this is a segment that we started doing a little while back that's so much fun, where I share magical manifestation stories with you, and we want yours too. So when I'm done with this story, I'll tell you how you can send in your magical manifestation stories to us for a chance for me to read it out loud here on the show. Okay, so I thought, because we were talking about money today, that I would do a magical manifestation moment story around money. And I'm labeling this one Wayne Dyer Dimes. Wayne Dyer Dimes. Now, if you don't know who Wayne Dyer is, Google him. But if you don't know who Wayne Dyer is, you've been living under a rock. If you're attracted to this show, I'm sure you know who he is. Well, anyway, Wayne Dyer had passed away about, it was in 2015. It was the last day of August in 2015. So it's been almost 6 years since he passed away. And I actually have a powerful manifestation story about that. Oh my God, my hand is itching. That means money. He's in the room. Oh my God, that's so weird. That means money's coming. Anyway, he passed away, and he was this massive light in the world, sharing all of his books and his expertise, and speaking all over the world about his power of intention, his spirituality, manifestation. And he was huge in this spiritually awakened personal development space. And so anyway, he passed away, and there's all kinds of stories out there about Wayne Dyer showing up. And what he's doing is he's visiting a lot of people, me included. And so he taps into me and shares. I literally, I could do a blog on it one day and write all the ways that Wayne Dyer shows up in my life, but he shows up for a lot of people. And one of the people that he shows up for is my friend, Amanda Marie Masters, and she channeled a book through him. And so we talk about Wayne Dyer because he channeled, through me, or I channeled him, replace your worry with wonder. And I didn't know it was him at the time, but I channeled this whole thing from him. And then he ended up sharing it with somebody else. He was very big on getting the message out there to replace your worry with wonder. It's kind of a side note. But let me tell you how playful he is. So what Amanda shared with me is Wayne shows up by leaving dimes everywhere. And I saw her one day and she was sharing this story with me. And I said, I find dimes too. And she said, that's Wayne. That's his playful way. So she said that we were at an event and we were out eating. And she said, yeah, he put a dime in my shoe this morning. I thought, oh my God, that's so funny. Anyway, so now I'm aware that he's doing this, and all of a sudden, all of these dimes start showing up in my life in the weirdest, craziest places. So I shared this with Kelly, my assistant. I said, it was so weird how he was dropping them in, because I said, all right, Wayne, if you're dropping dimes, drop some dimes my way. So I get in my car one day and I never have change. I'm just not a change carrier. If there's change, I throw it in the charitable bin wherever I am. If there's a chance to, add that to donate on a total at a store, I do that. Like, I just don't carry change. I haven't for years. And when I do have change, I have an abundance bowl. You can't see it, it's behind me, but I always throw it in there. So, the story was, I got in my car and sitting in my console, I went to put my cup of coffee in there and there was a dime sitting there. And I thought, oh my gosh, where did this come from? So I laughed about it. And I don't know why, but I moved it over to the cup holder, next to mine so I could put my coffee cup down. And I go about my day. And the next day I get in my car and now there's two dimes. There's the dime that I moved from the day before. And now this other dime here. So crazy. So then the same week, I can't remember, it was a couple days later, I was walking and I went for a walk outside and I had my sweatshirt on. And I reached my hand in my pocket and I pulled out a dime. I had another dime just a couple days later. So funny. And then I got home, I put the dime in the abundance bowl. And then I kid you not, I don't know how he did it, but about 2 or 3 days later, it was just a couple days later, I woke up and there was a dime in my bed. Like, how did the dime get there? So I'm sharing all of these stories with Kelly. It was so funny. And now she starts, calling me and coming into the office to see me. And she's like, you're not going to believe this. I'm finding these dimes everywhere. So I just wanted to share that with you, that abundance is everywhere and it's fun and it's playful. And this is just Wayne Dyer's way of saying, hey, I'm here, tap into me, and how he does it with dimes. So I just wanted to share that powerful story and equate it to what we're talking about, which is money. So playful. So unlimited universe, you can ask for anything you want. That's just his calling card, and that's the way it is. And so please do me a favor, because we're going to share more magical manifestation moment stories with you, but we want to hear your stories. So please send them into us at info@dianeforster.com. And in the subject line, write magical manifestation moments. Okay? All right. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that with us. All right. And on that note, we are ready to bring on our guest, the amazing Sarah McCrum.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you. What a wonderful story. I have never heard that about Wayne Dyer, that he visits people in dimes. That was really funny.
Isn't it crazy? So much fun, so playful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we are so thrilled to have you here. You were on our Get Happy Now summit that we did a while back, and I really wanted to have you on the show to talk about your beautiful work, your beautiful book, and what you're doing in the world to help people who are really struggling with their relationship with money. And it's such, it's so epidemic. And I know that you have so many amazing things that you're going to share with us today as we talk about this. But before we get started, I want to welcome you, because you're coming from Australia, and so it is 7 a.m. the next day. Like you're 17 hours ahead of us, so it's already the next day for you. So
you might even hear the birds twittering through the sound. We've got the early morning birds, and birds in Australia are very loud compared to other countries. So.
Okay, well, we'll tune in for it, and we'll appreciate their music. All right. Well, let me share a little bit about you. Most people experience fear and stress around money, and they're not aware how much it's influencing their business, financial, and family life, and their impact in the world. Sarah McCrum is a teacher and author who helps you create a healthy relationship with money so you can live with abundance, fulfillment, and generosity. Over 10,000 people have joined her online courses based on her book, Love Money, Money Loves You. Amazing. I read your book. Actually, I listened to your book, and it moved me profoundly. It just really touched me. So I would really love for you to share your story, how that came to be. What was your journey?
Well, the story of the book was an unusual one. I'd actually been training for 22 years or something with Chinese masters. So I was totally into learning about energy. Everything I learned was about energy, and that was my life. But what happened was that I had a business failure, and it was a very painful experience. And just after we closed the business, and I was pretty bored, really, because I didn't have anything to do at the time, I was given this little book called How to Become a Money Magnet, and it had exercises at the end of the chapters. And one of those exercises just asked really casually, what would money like to say to you? So I was kind of casually writing in my journal, answering all these really normal questions. And what happened was my pen started writing, literally just writing in my book completely fluently. And the words that were coming out of the end of it were absolutely not my words. And the first thing it said was, I would like to tell you to love me. And then it went on and it talked about how money is energy, and it's beautiful, and it's light, and it's here to help us, and it connects us together in our creativity. And it said, I'm not the devil, and I never have been. And the final words it said were, don't wait. Don't wait. Just take me. I will love you. And so in this, I just got this 2 pages of unbelievably beautiful and heart-touching information about money. So I did that again and again and again because it was such a beautiful experience, and ended up with a series of over 60 messages from money to us about what it is and how we can relate with it in a way essentially that supports us all to thrive, and that everybody can have access to money. It's not something that only belongs to rich people, only belongs to certain people. Everyone can access it. We just need to learn how it works, how to have that kind of relationship with it. That is a relationship of love, actually, and beauty. It's not what I think we've taken it to be. So that's how I come to be talking about this topic.
It's so powerful. And, 60 messages. Money had a lot to say, didn't it?
It had a lot to say. And it was very clear and very specific, and occasionally like, why don't you get it? Because it's a message about enjoyment and relaxation. It says, like, you seem to not even want to get that I'm talking about enjoyment, and you're also serious about money. So it's a very redeeming kind of and relieving message, I think.
It is really beautiful. And if, your book does it and helps facilitate that. But if more and more people could really understand that truly what it is and relax about it, we were having a conversation earlier today about, because we picked a couple of the questions that came in because we wanted them to be on target for you, because I want you to stay for the Mentor Me Minute segment. And I love that you said, that money said to you, I'm not the devil, and I never have been. Like, why do so many people hate me, and feel that way about me and feel that I'm evil? And it's so much about love, because it is what the universal emotion, the highest powerful emotion is love, right? Really
and
is.
Vibration. It's the vibration of life. It's the underlying frequency. So money is a part of that. So money is made of the same frequency. But I understand why people feel it's the devil, because we do terrible things in the name of money. But I think we've given money a really hard time, because it's actually the people who do those things. And people who do terrible things, they do terrible things with nature, which is also pure in its own way. People do terrible things with children, which are like the picture of innocence. So I think we have to not stop blaming money and take responsibility ourselves for our relationship with money, because that's really a first step in healing that relationship.
It really is so powerful. All right. So what for you really has been your biggest challenge with all of this, and how did you overcome it? I would say now, like after you had the epiphany and went through all that, what was it?
I think the biggest challenge is not one thing where suddenly I had a breakthrough and then everything changed after that. I don't have that story apart from what I told you around the book. The challenge for me, and I find for many people, is simply the kind of ongoing growing in our relationship with money. So for me, it's more like my relationship with my husband, for example. There's no single epiphany that made that into a perfect relationship where it wasn't before. It's been a story of growing my capacity for love, basically, and the action that goes with love. And I would say I'm very much in the process of that growing. I don't think that we become a finished product in that. So it's the same with money for me. It's about noticing when I'm thinking in old ways, noticing when I get narrow-minded about money, noticing when I get really middle class about it. There's a kind of, in England where I come from, there's a real middle class pride around our attitudes towards money. It's like we're right and the rich aristocratic people are wrong and the poor people are wrong. It's just this very self-righteous approach. And it's not so strong in me now, but it comes up and it feels natural because it's what I grew up with. But it's actually really quite ugly and very it's very judgmental and very unpleasant kind of energy. So for me, it's about recognizing where it's not feeling good and finding the place where money feels good, where money and love are really connected in my heart, and where there's an enjoyment and a lightness around it. And yeah, that's a growing story, I would say.
That beautifully said, and equating it to your relationship with your husband. It is an ongoing relationship, and it is, it's an evolution, and it's changing, and right, old programming and triggers are things that are there. You have this sort of, I don't like the word hate, and so but this sort of love-hate thing going on with it, and then remembering that. And so, yeah, I get it. I totally get it, because I do mindset work, right? And I'm very much about the law of attraction, and very much focused on language, and very much focused on our vibration and our frequency. And I have to work on it every day, every day. And
in a way, as our capacity grows, what I notice is that we are willing, or I'm willing, to take on bigger challenges. So in one way, I would say that I have to solve much bigger problems now than I had to solve in the early days of developing this relationship. But I have more capacity to do that. But they're still always a bit bigger than me. So they're always stretching me. And if we could get over the idea that life is suddenly just going to become all kind of just like honey and like so easy, I never have to do anything, and recognize that if you have ability, or as you gain some capacity, you actually grow your willingness and desire. Maybe you want to help more people. That brings you a whole lot more problems to solve and a whole lot more challenges to overcome. But that's the good thing about life. That's not something that's wrong with it. That's actually what makes our spirit strong and makes life feel fulfilling. So I think sometimes we've got a bit of a funny idea around our expectations of what money will do for us. And we think it'll just make it so that it's almost like I can just stop everything I'm doing now and be a different person. That's a bit of an illusion. It's more a way that you can grow who you are.
Yes. And I see this, and I'm certain you see it too, because in my, world of entrepreneurship, I'm surrounded by a lot of people who are 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure billionaires who, have more than enough money, right? And it's not so much about the money. It's exactly what you said. If you have this, this big pile of money, that thing that you think is going to get you to that place where that, peace of mind, like, oh, I can just relax now, is going to happen, it will not last for long. Boredom will come up. Like, we're evolving beings, and they all use their lives and use their money to serve in a great way and help others. And that's why there's more and more abundance flowing to them. So it's not about this, like you said, like this definitive, infinite, this is it, this is what's going to happen. That's not our design. No. So being grateful for where you are, what you have right now, and every single dollar or dime that you have, will just keep that frequency and that vibration high to attract more and more and more. But the constant evolution of you is just going to keep continuing and continuing. So I love it. Embrace it now. Start loving it right now. Like you said, relax. That was the word that stuck out about what you said. If we can just relax in it, right?
Yes, relax about money. And I was just running a workshop actually a couple of hours ago, and there was an entrepreneur in it who was very entrepreneurial, the type that's almost gambling with their life to get wildly crazy things done, and they lose money and they get betrayed and cheated, and this big kind of history. And I said the word relax about money, and it was like, he said, oh my goodness, I even think about the price of a cup of coffee when I have plenty of money. And he was so unrelaxed about it. And to be able to relax about money, he said, I want to introduce you to all the other founders of businesses so that they learn that early, because it causes so much stress to most people who are engaged with money as much as people who are not engaged with it.
Yes. I know that to be true. It's so true and so sad. And they're operating from they're doing it for the money. They're so focused on the money. And you and I know it's really about the service and coming from that place, and the money just comes. It just comes. And just to be relaxed about that. Yeah.
And there are some things that really make a difference to it coming, because I do know people who've been very generous, for example, all their life, and they've ended up completely broke. So sometimes we teach that, if you receive what you give. That's not necessarily true. It depends how you do it. So I think it's very important to, I use the word generosity a lot, but for me, generosity is not just giving everything away. Generosity is being generous to myself. So receiving generously. If you want to be able to give generously or pay generously or invest generously, which are all equally positive things to do, you need to receive generously. That means you need to include yourself in the generosity cycle, if you like. Otherwise, it becomes a kind of giving everything away. There's usually an underlying fear. There's a fear either that if I have too much money, I'll become a bad person or I'll be corrupted or something. So I give it away. It turns me into a good person. But there's an element underneath that you'd want to examine and to look at, can you allow the generosity of life to be expressed through you and through your life? Because then you have a much more balanced relationship with money.
Mm-hmm. That's really true. And we do have to be able to to receive generously, just like you said. It does knock the energy, the frequency, the vibration off. If you're just giving, you're denying others their soul's purpose and calling of them being able to give if you don't receive, right? Yes. It's so powerful. It's really true. Yeah. Well, this is fabulous. All right. Well, we're going to move into the Mentor Me Minute segment where we're going to take just 2 questions today from our followers that I would love for you to chime in on and answer for us today. And then what we'll do is we'll get into like your final piece of advice and ways. I know you have a gift to share with the audience. So All right, so let's move into the Mentor Me Minute segment now. All right, Kelly, what's our first question? Every time I try to manifest money, it feels like I lose more money. What am I doing wrong? Okay.
It looks to me and it feels to me energetically as though, first of all, you're trying too hard. So you're working too hard at it. When we really work hard at manifesting money, we're usually coming from a place of, I don't have enough, or I can't afford my bills, so I need more. And the focus is not actually on more money. The focus is on this lack of money. And it says in my book, it's a really interesting thing that money showed me, is that if somebody, for example, is constantly saying, I don't have enough money to pay my bills, the energy of money has to actually arrange somehow that you have more and more bills to keep that true. That might sound strange. So what you need to do is really relax about money, as we've spoken about, and invite that money into your life, not because of the worry or the fear or the scarcity of something or the obligation you have to pay a bill, but simply invite it in with generosity and then go and pay your bill. So it's the relationship somehow. It's rather like with a human being, just like invite them generously into your life and don't approach them with this kind of neediness, because that actually repels people.
That was really fantastic. I love that. So on so many levels, I love that. You know, when you're inviting the money in to be used for bills, the universe is figuring out a way to give you more bills. Oh my God, Sarah, that was so good. That was so good.
It's annoying in a way, but it just happens to be the way it's built. And so we have to learn. And the nice thing about it is you come out of it feeling really kind of like you just feel so easy. It feels so pleasant when you do it the right way. And when you do it the wrong way, it feels stressful. So the key is the relaxation.
That's so true. And I know for myself, I've been through, I've been both sides. I'm very much in a relaxed state right now, in a trusting, and it just comes, when you're able to do that. But I've been on that other side too, where you just feel like, writing this check, and that fear, it just creates more. And it's so interesting how when you relax through it, with it, about it, things just start magically disappearing, It's incredible. It's magical. So magical. Thank you for that answer. That was wonderful. Okay. All right. Our next question is, I manifest money often, but it comes in waves and I sometimes have trouble staying in a positive space. How do I maintain that abundance vibration? Thank you, Shelley in Irvine. Ooh, that's a good question.
That's an interesting question, because if you look at it, you're using the word vibration. Now, a vibration is a wave form. So first of all, we all need to understand that life goes in vibrations, and therefore nothing is ever going to be maintained in a solid, kind of like a solid state. There's always going to be ups and downs, but you can make it so it's, relatively speaking, not so extreme. It's more, the ups and downs are more close together. And really, more than anything, Shelley, I would say it comes with practice. If you're manifesting money often, you've learned one part of it, then as you practice more, you'll start to notice inside you, what's the vibration that makes things maybe dip down more than I would like to, and you'll start to self-correct. So I feel that the most important thing for you is to be very observant of what's going on, and especially feel the energy that happens when you manifest something, and feel the energy when you feel like you go into more of a tight space. And if you notice what's happening with your energy and the feeling of it, you'll automatically correct yourself over time. But it's not so much just like, oh, here you are, here's an epiphany and now it'll work. These things, for me at least, I always need to, I notice, okay, that's what's going on with me. And then over the next 3 to 6 months, I get better and better at that thing. And then that's not an issue anymore. And then there's something else that I need to deal with. But please don't think that it's just going to be all one thing. And one thing I want to say briefly about this positivity thing, of course, it's good to be positive, but positive and negative go with each other. We don't want to be over negative. We don't want to be over positive. But if you try to get rid of all negativity in your life, you will find there's more and more of it. It's part of that vibration. So we need to find what I call a functional positive and functional negative energy, which are both useful. Okay?
That was so good. I'm writing that down. So good. Wow. Well, I hope, Kelly, it was Shelley and Carol. Thank you, Shelley and Carol, for writing in your questions. And thank you, Sarah, for answering so eloquently. So powerful. Okay, so I know you want to share, you've got a gift to share with the audience. Can you talk about that?
Yes, so I have something which is called the money scorecard, which is a simple way to give yourself a little self-assessment on your relationship with money now. You answer 40 questions around money, work, purpose, and organization, financial organization. It will give you a score, but more valuable than that, it will give you some guidance on how you can start to improve your score, especially in areas where you're weak. And people find it quite fun, and I think actually quite useful to do.
Well, I'm going to do it as well. All right. Well, we have a banner up for it. It is at moneyscorecard.app. Moneyscorecard.app. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, we'll have it in the show notes too. So, oh, wonderful. Okay. And then how can people find out more information about you?
The best place is to go to my website, which is my name. So it's sarahmccrum.com.
Great. Sarah McCrum, SarahMccrum.com. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Do you have one final piece of advice that you want to share?
You know, I'd rather share something I've said already because it's so important that it would be better to hear this 100 times over than to hear 100 different things. And that is genuinely, truly ask yourself, how could I relax about money? Being relaxed about money is better than being worried about money. So pay attention to relaxing about money because it will work.
That is beautiful words of wisdom. I encourage everyone, put that on a Post-it note or an index card or on your screensaver or anywhere. How can I relax about money? That's right. I love it, Sarah. Thank you so much for being here and for your amazing book. I encourage everybody, go get her. Do you sell it on your website or is Amazon the best place?
It's on Amazon and other bookstores.
Yeah. So Love Money, Money Loves You is the name of the book. And thank you so much for spending time with us and getting up early today to be here. I so appreciate you and the work that you're doing. So
thank you so much for inviting me as well.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye. Wasn't that so good? Everyone get that money scorecard, moneyscorecard.app. I'm going to do it too. 40 questions. Who doesn't want the answers to that? Such a great topic. All right. Well, our show is flying by today. All right. We're ready for the word of the week segment. And this is the segment of the part of the show where Kelly tries to stump me. She thinks of a word that has a negative connotation and I have to replace it with a more positive one. And this is all in our vocabulary replacement movement work that we do that you're really manifesting all the time. And language is just as important, if not one of the most important parts in intentional living and manifestation in your life. What you're saying about yourself and about others all day long, not just when you're praying and meditating in the morning or the evening, or you're writing in your journal, but having awareness, which Sarah just talked about, and we talk a lot about too, having the awareness of the way you're communicating, and the words you speak are so incredibly important. They matter so, so much. All right. So, Kelly, if you're ready, give me this week's word. Introvert. Interesting. Introvert. All right. So from a negative connotation, yeah, I know a lot of people that say, well, I'm an introvert, I'm introverted. And it does make it sound like it's negative, doesn't it? They feel like I'm one of those people, something's wrong with me. I am going to flip that on its head for you and tell you, because first of all, I'm introverted too. I'm an extrovert. I would say I'm an extroverted introvert, even though I don't like labels. I love being in front of the camera, being on stage, being at, speaking and networking and, doing all of those things, using my voice, right? And yet at the same time, I really do love my quiet time too, because I'm very sensitive to energy. So, but I would say that you replace any negative connotation around the word introvert with introspective instead, because being an introvert gives you the opportunity to be introspective, right? Go within, tap into your energy, use your imagination, visualize, spend quiet time reading or learning or whatever it is. Use that as introspective time to connect with you. So there's no shame around being an introvert, none whatsoever. It's actually a really, really good thing. There's nothing wrong with being an extrovert either, but that's not the word she picked today. She picked introvert, so we're focusing on that. So how can you take the label or any negative beliefs about or negative connotations that you have around the word introvert and flip that into being I'm just using that to be introspective. That's opportunity and my time to be introspective, and that's a really good thing. More of us should spend time alone with our thoughts, quietly with our thoughts. So, all right, Kelly, that was a good word. I hope you all got value out of that, and maybe you can start pivoting that and switching that up. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're getting ready to get into the close of the show with our powerful mantra meditation that we end every episode with. But before I do that, let me give a little quick recap, and I want to share a gift with you related to money. So again, the theme of the show was Money Loves You, how to improve your relationship with money. And the intention statement was, I have today to tap into the loving energy of money. And I shared the Wayne Dyer dime story in the magical manifestation moments. Wasn't that so fun? And Sarah McCrum was here, amazing Sarah McCrum, who wrote the book Love Money, Money Loves You. And so you can find out more from her in the show notes and at her site, sarahmccrum.com. All right. So what I wanted to share with you, since money is the topic of the show, is a special gift that I put together to help you with your money mindset. And it's called the Money Mantra meditation. Sorry. Money Mantra meditation. That's 3 M's. That's a mouthful. Anyway, where you can find that free audio download is at dianeforstergifts.com. dianeforstergifts.com. On that page, on my gifts page, there's 5 things there, and the money mantra is one of those. So download that and start listening to that. I think it's about 4 minutes to keep your money mindset in check. Like Sarah said, and like, I shared, it's a never ending process. It's never done. We're constantly evolving and the frequency is up and down. And so it's in your dedication and commitment to keep your money mindset healthy and relaxed that's going to improve your relationship with money. So check that out at dianeforstergifts.com. Okay. All right. So here we go. We're getting ready to do the final mantra meditation here on the show. And we always tie in this mantra meditation. I always tie in this mantra meditation with everything that we talked about in the show, so that you can leave here feeling more grounded with it, feeling a sense of relaxation, feeling a sense of healing, and allowing everything that we talked about to really anchor and ingrain with you. So what I want to ask you to do is just Get ready, put your feet flat on the floor, put your hands on your lap, and get ready to close your eyes. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in to the count of 4, hold it for 4 seconds, then breathe out for the count of 8, while as if you're blowing out birthday candles. And we're going to do that 2 times. And then all you need to do is listen to the words. All right. So here we go. Get ready. Close your eyes. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 4. And breathe out for 8. Feels so good. Ready? Here we go. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 4. And breathe out for 8. And all you have to do is listen to the words. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles, big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to love my relationship with money as much as money loves me, and that my relationship with money and our relationship with money together is one of the most important relationships I'll ever have in my life. I understand this now. Money is not evil or the devil, like Sarah shared, and never has been. Money's role is to be loved and appreciated as it loves and appreciates you, to be used, to be shared, to be spent, to be invested, to grow. Use it, love on it, let it light up your life. It's part of this earthly experience. And you have today to change that relationship you have with money. Say it right now. I love money and money loves me. There's an abundance of money all around me, all the time. I do not have to stay contained or structured in the way that money shows up into my life. I allow money to flow to me in the best, funnest, fastest way possible, in service to myself and to others. I allow myself to play and have fun with money. Fun, fun, fun. Because money is fun. Money is love. Money flows easily and effortlessly. I can receive it. I am a powerful receiver. I love myself enough to allow money to flow into my life. And I release any limiting beliefs or glass ceiling or any pain from my past that has led me to believe anything less than that. I have today to let go of the person that I was yesterday and in my past to be the person I am today, who is open and receptive to receiving all the money I want, all the money I deserve, and all the money that continues to flow and flow and flow into my life. I use it wisely. I use it with fun. I use it with flair, and I use it with freedom. I love and accept myself unconditionally, and I love money for the role that it plays in my life. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, you can open your eyes. How did that feel? I hope it felt good. It felt good to me. My eyes weren't even closed. It was just a flowing through me. All right, I want to say thank you so much for being here. We are here every week, Mondays at 11 a.m. on E360 TV, on YouTube, and on Facebook. And you can catch us live at Pacific time. Write in your questions to us at info@Diane Forster. We're going to have links at the end of the show in the credits for how you can share your Mentor Me Minute questions with us and all other ways to follow us on social media. Thank you so much for being here. I love you madly. And you have today to live your life. Live it to the fullest. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.